Living Proof New York Artist Edition number 2, available now. Forever Young and Crazy documents the life of OJ an iconic graffiti writer from the Upper West Side of Manhattan. As a New York City youth raised within the graffiti scene of an early New York with its crime, self discovery, drugs, fighting, joy, and violence. Forever Young and Crazy, a 138-page book, now available exclusively on our Patreon, shipped to our members for the month of October 2024. Coming from a troubled home, OJ was separated from his mom at age 4 and transferred from foster home to foster home, dealing with abuse at each one. Finding a sense of freedom and relief within graffiti, his approach to graph and sheer volume had him surpass many from his era. This book contains original writing from OJ regarding his relationship with JA1 Ecstasy, a tribute to the life of the late great Kes 5 YKK, OJ's bond with the legendary Andy Kessler, rest in peace, FYC crew history, as well as photos from the private collection that OJ has amassed over decades of graffiti writing. Forever Young and Crazy by OJ FYC, Living Proof Artist Edition number 2, patreon.com/livingproofnewyork. What do you think about like the cycle of popularity that happens when you start something and people are wearing it or people are talking about it, and it's like it's kind of like the thing, and I it's that thing where like when you just start some shit, everyone's paying attention. It's like something exciting and new, and then once that wave dies out, how to keep it going and how to like stay true to yourself, but also advance forward so you present something new to the public. What do you think about that?
It's depressing. Like, it's no matter how hard you try, you can't get back to where you were. So it's tough, but I just like I hope that people will trust that I'm trying to not blow up too quick and make this last long, instead of just like trying to cash grab. And I want to produce good stuff, and I hope I can keep it going. Like, I think, Carhartt and Dickies, like, they did it. But yeah, it sucks when I'm not, selling like I used to. It's not good for your mental health.
Of course, yeah. You put so much work into some shit, and then it's like the public might not.
This was a point.
Yeah.
I was going to say, when I started Peels, this ruined every relationship. Like, friends and girlfriends and people that were close to me were like, all you do is talk about this brand. And I would be on a trip to like a vacation, and I would be like, oh, I actually brought this Peel shirt. Can you throw it on real quick? And they'd be like, are you fucking serious? We're on a hike right now. And I was like, well, just do it real quick. And it was like, that's how you'd have to do a brand, is you have to make it your entire life. And if you don't, it will not pop off. I couldn't figure out a way to find a balance. It was everything I did all day long. The homies were like, I don't want to hang out with you because you just do this. But that's how you have to be to get something off the ground, I think. Like, start, like, if you have a big investor, maybe it could be easier, or a team. I don't know. But trying to do it by yourself, it ruined every friendship for a long time. And now it doesn't. And now I'm not making the money, So there's no balance. It's just trying to figure it out still.
It's just you. It was just you then.
Yeah, it still basically is. Like, I have a dude who sews, and a dude who like tries to design stuff, and like we work as a team, and there's no hierarchy. We all just do different jobs. Like, I feel bad because I had the dude who is supposed to be designing stuff. I was like, yo, we're so slow. Can you just reach out to some restaurants to see if they want some workwear? And he was like, yeah, man. Like, that's not what he's hired for. But that's like, the reality is you got to do different things all the time.
Starting this thing, which was Angel and Z podcast, radio, whatever, into now Living Proof, I greatly underestimated how fucking hard doing any type of your own brand or project or business or whatever you want to call it would be. Like, severely, greatly underestimated it. And now, having like, I think we've been doing it for like 5 years, almost 5 years. I'm like, damn, dude, hats off to anybody who does anything.
Yeah.
Because that shit's no joke. And a lot of the times with clothing, because what we do is, different from clothing, but a lot of times with clothing, you think that, dude, all you got to do is, well, Well, first of all, a lot of shit looks similar with clothing in New York
Yeah.
and quote unquote streetwear or that genre of clothing. A lot of shit looks similar. Like you could take one brand's shit, like silhouette of a t-shirt or of some knitwear for your upper body or some wind pants and just change the logo and you wouldn't fucking know. You wouldn't know which one was which. They're
Yeah.
interchangeable. So that's already hard enough to like stand out and stand for something and stand for something meaningful and give people a reason to be hyped, which I think some clothing brands have done an excellent job doing. Like I remember being a little kid wearing some brands and being like, "Yo, this means something to me." Like I feel like I'm a part of something, which I actually don't think is shallow or or anything. I actually think that's pretty fucking dope, you know? It's a way for people to express themselves. That being said, like, fuck, dude, I think I forgot my point. Oh yeah, I would think that like all you need to do is have a celebrity rock your hat or have a celebrity rock your tee, and it's game over, dude. You made it in the clothing world, like you're good. But that's not actually the case.
No.
Nothing actually, and that's what I've realized doing this thing is nothing actually. There's not one thing that you're just gonna do that's gonna be the cheat code to fucking kicking back and being and chilling and being financially stable. I'm not even. I'm also. I'm in, like I'm on. I'm in the same boat as you. It's like, would it be sick to have fucking 50 mil in the bank and you're good forever? Yeah. But like, is that necessarily what I want in life? Is that my main goal? No. And there's another thing that's like, you could just throw away brand integrity and throw away your own personal integrity for what you like and make some shit that is like of the moment, of the now, and gonna pop off and like make the quick check. And that shit's kind of whack.
Yeah.
And also not long lasting. But my point is that mad work goes into it and not one cheat code trick, because you've had celebrities rock your shit.
Yeah.
That's just not gonna fucking do it forever. The only thing that's gonna do it forever is what I agree with what you're saying, which is pretty much being straight up unhealthily obsessed.
Yeah.
Like you have to be obsessed to a level where you no longer have a balanced life.
Yeah.
And that is what's going to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You're right. It's crazy motivation. But like you said, when Zendaya wore it on Euphoria, people were like, "Oh, you must be chilling. Like your life is cush now." And I was like, "No, dude, I sold 30 jackets. That's that's like rent. It's not that crazy." And you made me think of all these brands the same. Kyoto is a good exception. Like he's
Shout out
brilliant.
to him, dude.
He is brilliant, dude. He can do anything.
I got so much respect for Kyoto,
And he's
bro.
got his own store, and I'm like, you can't compare yourself though, because that's evil.
Yeah.
That's how you fail. But he does such a good job on everything. He's got a store, and I'm like, dude, what? I can't do that.
Mad respect, dude.
Yeah, I kind of just follow what he does in a way. I'm like, those are goals, and he's killing it, and he can do anything. So
I think he just is truly himself, and the Star team is truly like his unfiltered brain's creativity and a depiction, like a true, honest, authentic depiction of him and his homies in this time period, in the neighborhood that they're in. And I think people resonate with that authenticity and resonate with like, it's also unlike a bunch of other brands that can seem similar. So like he got that like point of differentiation or whatever.
Yeah, he might have a good balance, but I can't figure that out.
Yeah. I can't figure it out either. I've been trying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy too. You're like solo.
Yeah. He probably is too, but it's like, do I want to go back to that lifestyle where everything was peels? I don't. That was dark. And there was good times, but it's not a way to live.
How everything was peels. Like you just wake up.
Yeah. Go straight to it. Like today we're doing a shoot at this time, and then and just the talks at dinner with whoever I was were about peels.
And you can't take your mind off that.
Nope. 24/7.
I've had times where like I'll be fucking waking up at 3 a.m. every day, not because I want to, and not even because I got a full 8 hours of sleep, just because like I'm having dreams about some shit I got to do. And like not good dreams, kind of like, oh my God. Like I wake up and I'm like, things are gonna go horribly wrong, and it's like, dude, nothing's gonna fucking go horribly wrong.
Yeah, the sleeping would transition because I can bounce off that. Like, so Citibike Boyz took a big turn. It wasn't my most viral video, but it was when I went over the subway tracks, which when I think it was like the first thing Tyshawn was kickflip it. Yeah. And that was like that blew up on his page, and like every share on Instagram was like I was tapping through and it was just Tyshawn. And I was like, I need to go fucking do that shit. And I was just like, it's time. And everybody around me was like, no, you can't do that. You're going to die. And I was like, all right, whatever. Yeah, it's not that sick. And it started haunting me, and I was losing sleep, and I would start thinking about it. My palms would get sweaty, and I would start feeling sick. And that went on for like 2 months. And I would just be like, I don't need to do it, man. I can do something more creative. That's like an obvious thing. Like I that would be stupid if I did it. And I kept talking to myself, but really deep down, it was like, I was just lying because I needed to do it to be happy. And I just like, I even brought it up to this girl I was dating. I was like, look at this guy. She was like, yeah, that's cool. And I was like, I got to do that. And she was like, absolutely not. If you do that, I'm done with you. I'm not going to date somebody who's going to die jumping over the subway tracks. You're stupid. There's no way. So if you think about it again, I'm done. If you do it, I'm done. And I was like...
And she was dead serious.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, well, I'm not doing it. Well, there goes that. Thanks that happened. So I don't have to do it because I wouldn't want to lose my girlfriend over this. It's not worth it. And then, like, coincidentally, we break up and Tyshawn goes back and backside flips. And again, my feet is just Tyshawn. And I was like, fuck this. And I started hitting people up. I was like, I'm going to jump the subway. And everybody I called like 50 people. They were like, nope, I'm not having anything to do with that. It's not, you're riding a city bike, dude. It's not meant to go over jumps. All the homies were like, no, I'm not going. And then I was at Dimphna's drinking. And the homies there were like, you can't leave, dude. We're not letting you leave if you're thinking about doing that. And I was like, all right, I'm just going home. I walked out, I hit up Jenkum, I hit up Ian, and I was like, yo, I'm going to jump it. He's like, I'm on it. Where are you at? I'll be there in 5 minutes. If you're going to do it, I'm there. And Angel Delgado, I hit him up. He was down, and I was just like, it's time to just get this one off my chest. And I was single, and I was like, I'm going to show her. And it was like, Julian Lewis said it recently, that skater. He was like skating this reel and he's like, I had breakup motivation. And I was like, holy shit. Like, that's a term that's insane because I had that. And right after me and this girl broke up, I was like, I'm going to go jump the subway tracks. That's probably insanely toxic, but yeah, I was like, this is going to be like, I'm going to show her I'm the best and you shouldn't have broke up with me. I'm going to jump the tracks. And I just like went up there, and as soon as we got there, I was like, I just started waiting for the train to, and when it went, I just hucked it.
There's also no bank. Like, there's no jump ramp. You have to straight bunny hop that shit.
And the other scary part is where you land. There's a bench, and then there's poles, and then there's the tracks, which are like
on the other side,
which are like 20 feet away.
Yeah.
And that was the dumbest thing, but also like my biggest achievement in life.
Like, when you land, you have to be in control.
Yeah, and I wasn't. That was just the scariest thing. I'm glad that's over. It ruined me for a long time. I hope I never have to go through that again. I don't think I will.
The back wheel could have also exploded.
Yeah,
I mean, because you clipped.
It worked, dude. I'm not a Christian, but God was on my back because that wasn't natural or normal.
What time of day was it when you did it?
It was like 11:30 at night, which, you know, Tyshawn would go at 2 a.m. Respect for chilling at your crib and like having your heart racing like all those hours. Because when I want to do something, I'm like, let's go now.
So you kind of did it spur of the moment.
Yeah. I was at the bar drinking and I was like, it's time. Tyshawn it was like, he backside flipped it like within 12 hours before that. And I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Dude, I wonder if anyone else is going to do some shit over that.
They will. Yeah, for sure.
What do you think the hardest trick would be to do over it? You're landing in the yellow studded shit, right?
I think Tyshawn has either done hard flip already or will, and I think he could do back three pretty easily. Somebody could front three it.
Dude, back three would be crazy.
It's endless. It is like a hard setup. But
something fakey would be insane because
it
of the
will
roll
happen. I think Tyshawn could do anything.
That dude who skates for Palace did like a, I don't know if you've seen Quick Strike already. He did like a fakey ollie over a street gap.
Yeah.
It just looked insane because it looked like it shouldn't happen.
It's further, you know, it's a whole like board further to go fakey.
How? Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I've never thought of that.
Yeah.
How big is that gap?
It's like 13 feet probably, or
You
something
think
like that.
it's a lot bigger than Flushing Gap, right?
I don't know about Flushing Gap, but I do know that you go at an angle which adds a foot, pretty much.
And you have to go at the angle.
Not necessarily, but that I followed how Tyshawn did it, because you know other people have ollied it and stuff, and gone from different ways. I was like, he did all the work. Like he figured this, he paved the way. So I'm just gonna go. I went exactly where he did. Like I trust him.
Yeah.
He's dialed. You know, he's got this shit on lock.
Yeah, he's on point.
Yeah.
He's on point. His skateboarding's insane.
Yeah.
What was the public reaction? And how soon after did y'all post it?
Like that night. Or well, not that night, the next morning. And that video has 800,000 views on my page, which that's the craziest thing I've ever done in my life. That's not a lot. You know, I did that curved bench thing that has like 7.3 million views.
Wow.
And that was like 5th try, and like it was scary, but that's how the algorithm works. It's not going to know how scared you were.
So I'm saying, dude, I kind of think that sometimes it's out of our hands.
Yeah.
And even out of the viewers' hands. And it's in the hands of the Instagram algorithm.
And that was another point, is like skaters don't get the credit because they're doing insane stuff and scary and creative and massive double kinks, and like they're just not getting the love or the views, which I think that they should. You know, they've worked hard. People say views don't matter, or that, but it's nice to, when your video goes viral and you got all these comments and praise, like it's awesome. It's hard to deny that.
It is, yeah, it's undeniable. And it also sucks that like it's getting to a point where within skateboarding, it doesn't necessarily matter how fucking good you are.
Yeah.
Like it matters, but it doesn't the same way it used to. And I also think that like doing some shit and the final climax of doing that shit being you at home checking the views fucking sucks.
That's
dude.
dark. It is really
but
dark.
It's true. Like it's 100% true, and that's how shit goes. But that shit sucks.
Yeah.
It must have been sick during the DVD days when you don't fucking get to see like the exact real time. Sometimes you do some shit, you bust your ass for it, you post that shit, and fucking straight up no one sees that shit.
Jace just I think a lot of people know, but he skated a massive stair. Jace is from my hometown. If you don't know about him, you will soon. He ollied a massive stair. The details are pretty low key right now, but he is a legend. I just want to throw that out there. I want to shout him out. Some skaters like, I want to roll up, I want to skate the spot. Nobody can come because I need to be at peace.
Yeah.
There was like 50 people and 25 pros watching him. And he manned up and sent it massively. And then he dislocated his shoulder once, put it back, yelled on the ground, put it back in, then did it again, and it popped out again, and eventually conquered it.
In the same session.
Yeah, all within 20 minutes.
It's wild.
That's what I'm saying. That video better be stupid viral, or else I'm going to be pissed, because he deserves it.
Yeah. And
he deserves the love. And, you know, these things all are related, like the views. If Converse or whatever is looking at your page and they see 10 million views, they're going to be like, okay, this guy's got something going on. But if it has 30K, Converse will keep swiping.
Yeah.
I think that it matters, and it sucks that it matters, but I hope that video deserves it all, because he put in the work. It better.
What video is it going to be in, or is it just his
It'll
own
be in
shit?
Duplex.
Okay.
Which is, those are like my hometown guys, so I have super respect for them. It's hard to make it in Florida.
Is a spot in New York?
The spot is, yeah, it's in Williamsburg.
Okay. Yeah, man. What was the purpose? I think you might have already said it, but what was the purpose of moving here? Did you have a purpose? Was it just for skateboarding?
No, it was I went to school here. I I did go to school. That wasn't the purpose though. It was just easier here. It was nice to be able to be like super independent and just break away from my past in Florida. Like I made some stupid decisions there. I wasn't doing anything, you know, Florida's got a reputation. I was feeding that in a way. I was not doing anything good. And I moved here and a lot of the stuff I do is to like in my own battle just like redeem myself for not being like not making my dad proud growing up.
Mm.
So now I hope I am. But you know, I went to school. I just like I moved here to like start a new chapter, I guess. And a lot of people would say like, "Oh, school is so dumb these days." I'm so grateful, and that was the second biggest achievement if the subway was first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your day-to-day life like here today?
It's so good. It shouldn't be like this because I'm not doing well, but I'm happy.
Yeah.
That is the weirdest balance. Like I'm not going to like grind all day at work. I'm gonna go. I have like a meeting to get a steak after this, which is like awesome. But you know, it's to talk about like content or something. But I skate, and I argue that by skating, I'm working in a way. That's a lie, but I do say that to myself.
How do you justify that?
It's like
Like in meeting
I'm
people?
you know, I'm out skating. I'm like, it's the brand has something to do with skateboarding. I should be skating. I have to be a decent skater, so I should be doing this. So that's I do get to skate a little bit. I have the freedom, and that's why I'll struggle because I still have the freedom. But my day-to-day life is skate. I'll juggle the soccer ball, and I'll eat a good dinner. This just reminded me. My goal was to like instead of go out to dinner with on a date and split a main and just drink water. My goal always was I want to sit down. I want to get appetizer. We both get mains. We both get drinks. That was a huge goal. And like I got that, and now I'm like that's kind of sick, and that's really all I need.
Just because of how much you were struggling before.
Yeah. Like I lived on like $30 a week in New York, and my dad sent me like 20, and I was like counting on that 20. And that was my fault. I worked part-time as a barista and wanted to skate and fuck around. It's always, you know, your fault if you're like really broke. Can't keep blaming on people.
Yeah. I mean, it is very expensive to live here.
Yeah, I could go get a set job, you know, 12 hours a day and not be broke. It's all up to you.
Yeah. It's just that like the cost of living here is through the roof.
Yeah.
But it's doable. It's 100% doable. Mad fucking people do it. You just might not have the best living conditions.
Yeah.
Or working conditions.
Yeah.
Like if you're working from home, your shit might be mad small and mad cramped.
Yeah.
But I get that's the price that you pay for having, I guess, New York as your home.
Yeah, the resources in the network. What we were talking about, it's like that's why you live here. Is if you're not using it, you probably should move.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense. What are you doing for Peels now? Like, what is the main work that you put in for Peels?
I'm like pretty focused on it right now. I'm like trying to send people stuff again, and I just got burnt out on it. Like I did not want to see it or do anything with it for like a year or something, and now I'm back in it. I'm like, I want to do a new collection. I want to send it to people. I want to send it to my homies. I want to go back and like get the ball rolling again, because it's you know, it's like my baby. It's time to focus, not just it's time to lock in a little bit and, you know, not go crazy. But the only way to make it good is to go crazy.
Yeah,
mentally. But I'm trying right now. I'm gonna try to do a new collection, and I have a whole bunch of pieces I'm really stoked on, and surprises, and like just ways to maintain it.
you do it all at your crib.
I have like a little office.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there still the one in the like downstairs?
No, that was in an old apartment. I'm in a little space above Canal Street Market.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Dude, I think I saw you around there maybe like a month or two ago, cuz I'm near Canal Street Market.
Yeah.
On a daily basis.
Yeah, that's
multiple times a day.
That's my block.
Yeah.
I live over there. I work over there.
You're like, so you're right above Canal Street Market.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy, bro. I'm near you every single day. Um, yeah, I saw that you're changing up the aesthetic a little bit. Like doing more printed shit and just like even the font that you're doing it in is changing a little bit. What was the inspiration behind that?
It's just like it is a reflection of me, and I don't always know best. I don't always know what's cool, but I just keep it like whatever I'm into. And like I play in a punk band and I'm inspired by music, and I play in a band called Narcissist, and that's like also my one of my favorite things to do is playing the band. And so it's just like it's always Peels is just what I am into. It's not like, okay, that's popping, that color's cool, and that design style. It's what I'm into.
Yeah,
And I don't know best. Like I think I'm pretty disconnected from what's cool.
yeah. Which
So
is kind of sicker.
yeah, it's
I think
harder.
it's probably harder, but like, is it? Because I think that so much just comes from within when it comes to brands making cool shit rather than following the trends, just doing what you actually think is sick and kind of like blocking out the noise from the outside world.
Yeah.
I think that leads to a lot of good shit.
Yeah.
How's the band?
It's good. We just did an album. It's like I think we have some awesome stuff on it. And we play rarely, but when we do, it's like it's a huge like celebration.
Where do you guys practice?
At Gonzo's.
Okay.
It's like a new practice space on St. Mark's.
How do you see the punk scene? I grew up going to hardcore shows, but not really punk shows. I was super into hardcore.
Yeah.
My whole life, and at one point that was like kind of like my identity. But where I came up, it was like people would practice in their basements, people would practice in the garage. There was like houses and shit.
Yeah.
Like even if you were poor, you probably lived in like a shit ass house, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And the venues were like there was kind of venues not all over the place, but venues that could support a real thriving hardcore scene. Whereas in New York, I see like, of course, there's a fucking hardcore scene in New York, but the venue situation is different. The
Yeah.
practice situation is different. The living situation is different. And I think that hardcore and specifically was super influenced by the living situation of the times. Like you see like New York hardcore.
I say that same shit. I don't know enough about
Yeah.
hardcore or punk
Yeah.
because it's not my lifestyle to speak on it. But I do think that your living situation and like your money situation and financial,
And the country's situation.
that's insane to say, and I could get some shit for it, but I think that like those are some core principles of hardcore and punk. I don't know, but I sometimes think about that.
I mean, it's like punk, like even the most like mainstream punk bands like Black Flag or like Dead Kennedys or fucking Bad Brains. It's like very anti or protest what's going on. Like the Bad Brains logo is like a thunderbolt going through that fucking important building.
Yeah.
Or Black Flag would be a dude punching a mirror out, like a lot of anger and stuff. What does your band talk about? Do you take influence from that shit? Are you an angry person?
No, I'm like, dude, I have like actually super low blood pressure. So,
Okay,
like
wow, that's good.
medically, so I don't get mad really. It takes kind of a lot. But maybe some people in the band are a little more like dedicated to it. I just play the drums and have beat the hell out of those things and relieve and like love the music. I don't like live the lifestyle that hard.
Yeah. You guys tour?
We have.
How's that?
It's awesome. Like I'm like I'm not like a sleep in the van type dude, but I like a nice king bed in a hotel or at least a full or something.
Yeah.
But we've done it and it's always cool. We did South by and it was pretty awesome this past year.
Yeah. So getting back to Citibike, you've never owned a regular bike in New York?
I have like a really I have like a vintage Specialized that's awesome, but I don't really use it. I prefer the Citibikes.
Yeah. I think I've rode one like once or twice back in the day when like you could just kind of take them out.
Yeah.
It's Crazy how many people use them out here.
Yeah, it's dude. I like back the program pretty hard. I think it's great. It's like I think it helps with depression.
What do you mean by you back the program?
It's like so awesome we have access to that. Like you can just hop on a bike and get anywhere, and it's like a bike. I said this before, but like we walk as our as humans. That's like a pretty much main form of transportation. But like when you get on a bike, instead of like that thump, boom, boom, heel, you get on a bike and it's just smooth gliding. It's pretty amazing.
It's almost like you're floating.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, you know, it's like one form above walking, but it's so much better because it's just you're flying. It's a great invention.
It is a great invention.
Bikes and Citibike, whatever, they're all great.
Walking is actually such an ass form of transportation.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's like the most primitive form of transportation.
My steps a day are like sometimes under 2,000 because I'm always riding a bike.
I mean, cycling is so good for you.
Yeah.
I think it just decreases all forms of mortality just by doing that shit.
Yeah.
But the rideshare program in New York, I went the other day, someone came over and we did one of these, and then I walked with them to the Citibike station, and there was none.
Yeah.
And there was mad stations, like mad ports or whatever you want to call them. And all of them were being used. And I'm like, dude, that's kind of sick.
Yeah, dude, I hate, there's nothing worse than pulling up to a dock and having it full. That is, and then you want to like a Citibike electronic one getting paid. Now you're getting charged to like find a dock. That's insane. That sucks.
I think that we should invest, like New York City should invest even more into Citibikes.
I don't know what investments they have. I don't know what New York City or the Department of Transportation does, or the council or whatever. I don't know how much they help or if they help at all. But I also don't take the electric ones unless I'm going over the bridge. I like hop on one at the bottom, go over the bridge. But it's like,
why don't you take the electric ones?
They're just like, they're so fast that you have to then be like stressing on your ride, like swerving, slamming on your brakes. It's like you get going fast. On the OG pedal ones, you just kind of like mosey along. I prefer that. And which is my next point, they're just really dangerous. Like the city, you can't move faster than the cars. You're going to get hurt. And what I would explain to anybody that's like, oh, you're going to get hurt, is like riding a city bike in the city, those electric ones are much more dangerous than what I do. And like the other day, I was going down Canal and like I was signaling I was turning, and this guy was just road rage me, and he wouldn't let me turn, and he sped by me and like damn near took off his mirror on my handlebar, then slams on the brakes and gets out. And I was like, oh shit, this dude's massive bald dude, just jacked. He swung his door open and just kind of like got out and was like gonna try to like stop me. I swerved out of the way on oncoming traffic and missed getting plowed by like, that was weird. Missed getting just like flattened by like this far. And that was like the scariest, most close to death thing I've ever done on a bike. And I was like, swerved over, like reaction was like, I'm not going to face this dude. He's going to flatten me, knock me out with one punch. It's either that or I swerve. And I swerved and just missed the car. And I kept riding, and I was like, I just almost lost my life. And it was either I got knocked out or I almost lost my life. So I probably should have just taken the beating from that dude, because he was livid about his mirror. And his mirror was folding. You could fold it back out. You know, it was like an old SUV, or it was actually a Jeep Cherokee.
Those things go fast, dude.
Yeah, I was on an OG one just going slow, but I drive too. But when I see a bike, I'm like, you are just go. I'll wait here.
I see people texting while they're on an electric city bike because the things are so stable that you can like, you can really just know handlebars.
With the earpod maxes on texting, I've seen it.
And it's like a regular human doing it. Yeah. It'll be like a 32-year-old or 28-year-old lady. And I'm like, it's different if it's like a skateboarder, because they're used to traveling, being in traffic, dodging. They know what to look out for.
Yeah.
And their instincts for that shit is just way more. Even like you take a slam, like you know how to slam more.
Yeah.
A lot of these people who are riding that shit, they don't know how to slam, dude. If
Yeah,
they fall, they are breaking some shit.
It could be a surprise.
And I see them texting because I ride a bike around the city. I don't ride a city bike. I have one, but like I just ride a bike around. That's like my main form of transportation. And I see the shit and I'm like, dude, that shit's mad dangerous.
Yeah.
Shit's mad dangerous and there's mad of them. And the road, it's like a pool. It's like skating some DIY shit. Like that shit is not constant.
Yeah.
That shit is not constant at all. Like I took a slam on a bike. Like I've only slammed once or twice on a bike. I was coming off the Queensboro Bridge, you know, coming down it. And I try to not go crazy fast because I'm not trying to die. I'm not trying to get hit by a car and fucking actually die or be paralyzed forever. I'm riding down the Queensboro Bridge, coming into Manhattan, taking a left because that's the what you have to do pretty much, the way that it goes. And I'm going. I look to the right because there's oncoming, you know, cyclists. And I see that I got time and I'm valid. So I keep riding. I'm like, all right, I'm valid. I turn the left. Right when I turn the left. Like I'm mad aware, dude. Look to the right. Okay, cool. Look to the left. Turn the left. There's a fucking diesel pothole.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm done. Like I'm going fast and there's like this much space between my front wheel and the gaping hole. And I'm like, I don't even try to slam on the brakes because I'm gonna hit it no matter what. And I just immediately like front flipped over my bars. I tried to clear my legs. I didn't BMX growing up. I never even rode a fucking bike growing up. Like ever. So I've never really slammed on a bike up until that moment, but I like skateboarded my whole life. So it was just kind of instinctual. And I just front flipped over the shit and like fucking somehow didn't smash my head on the curb or something. And I was good. Like I scraped my hands up or whatever. And I was like, dude, that could have been worse than like, I could have lost all my teeth.
Yeah.
So I see these people going Mach 10 on their phones and shit. And I'm like, dude, the other day I was on like Christie Street on like the bike lane. And like this side's going this way, this side's going this way. And there's some dude on a Citibike or on a whatever bike, but he's on his phone looking down. I see him from a minute away. And he's like, we're on to an oncoming head-on collision. I see him from a minute away. And I'm like, you're. And I'm like saying it louder. And I don't get pissed when I'm biking or even like when I'm driving. Like I never get pissed. I don't try to fucking start fights or I don't care, dude. You know what I'm saying? And he noticed when he was like so close to me. Like if I was doing the same shit as him, like we would have got smoked.
Yeah.
We would have got smoked. But that being said, I do think that New York should it's just so heavily populated and so dense with the cars especially that it's not even convenient sometimes, most of the times, to drive.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
And with parking. And I think it would make for a better city and a better community and a better living situation if we were just all riding bikes. Those of us who can. Like you go to Europe and they just fucking are killing it with the bikes.
No one really needs to take a car. Unless you're disabled.
Unless you're disabled, yeah.
Yeah, then you get a pass. But no one really needs it. It's just a convenient thing.
And sometimes it's not a convenient thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like a mentally convenient thing.
Exactly. Or physically, the stairs, you hate the stairs, whatever.
Yeah.
But I have a car and I rarely ever drive it to do something. It's more just like get in the car and I go upstate. You know, it's just leisure.
Yeah. Yeah, like I think that if Uber prices and rideshare and shit like that was less money, like if they somehow lowered the cost of that to the point where it's an actual like it shouldn't be $35 for me to go from here to 42nd Street. That shit doesn't make no sense, dude. Like I'll walk that shit in like half an hour. Anyways, they lowered that price, somehow increased the safety and quality of the bike lanes.
Yeah.
The bike lanes are straight though, like honestly. Like if you're paying attention, you're straight.
Yeah.
They're not that fucking bad. Yeah, like you're gonna have some dude walking in there every once in a while, but like for the most part, it's not that bad. And then they increased like docks. Is that what you call them?
Yeah.
Yeah, if they increased docks and they did those three things, one of the biggest effects of it, I think that would happen is noise pollution going down. Cause there's nothing, dude. You especially that's like the block, like Canal Street Market during like 5 p.m., 4:40. The honking that fucking goes down is not
That
good for your health.
area is so sketchy, and that's where I almost got leveled right in front of my office. That Canal Street is so bad.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. People are so angry. They're all going to Jersey too. Yeah, that's Jersey drivers built their own like stereotypes. So
You got the people selling shit too on Canal Street.
yeah, right out front of
All
my
the
office.
like bootleg shit.
Yeah,
The cops come, they jet.
yeah,
There's a lot of shit. That street's very overwhelming, honestly.
yeah. So insane.
Yeah, I hope they do that. I hope they do that because I think it would make for a much better society. They're probably not going to do that. I mean, they were trying to do that that fucking what's it called? It's like a toll
Yeah.
for the cars. What do you think about that?
That wouldn't be good. That would suck for like a lot of people. I don't know. I think that's more for the city, but like they need to fix the holes. The streets suck so often. I think that what I think should happen is this would never work because there'd be too many people just not using the system right, but you should be able to take a picture of a tag and be like, this dude did this, and they should just get a ticket. This dude literally got out of his car ready to beat my ass. Like I would just be like, text that. Like, I mean, I guess it's kind of Karen and whatever, but that should be a system. They just get a ticket in the mail for like hitting a bike or whatever. But they can't do that because people would just like see somebody and be like, I don't like that guy.
Another thing that would be cool is like if more people cycled, they would treat cyclists differently.
Yeah.
Cause like, yo, you're in mad danger when you're riding a bike. Like I feel like I'm more danger riding a bike than I do driving a car, just because of the fact that my body is fully exposed.
For sure.
And like if something like I would text and drive. I don't fucking text and drive and I don't drive, but like the chances of me texting and driving are much greater than the chances of me cycling and texting. There's pretty much no shot of me doing that other than like if it's a crazy emergency. Because dude, like if I miss a pothole and I got my phone in my hand and I'm holding that shit with my left hand, I'm going to get smoked.
Yeah, you're getting cooked.
You're going to get cooked. So it's like it feels like you're in much more danger, and you can tell when like a driver doesn't give a shit.
That dude who tried to fight me has definitely not been on a bike.
Yeah.
In a long ass time.
And I get it, dude. It's different perspectives and all that shit, but it's like in New York specifically, it's crazy. And those electric city bikes, that shit's like driving a motorcycle, dude. That shit's like riding a motorcycle.
Yeah.
You're going Mach 10.
Yeah, it is.
I think they should have just let it rock with the old city bikes.
Yeah.
Like there comes a point where you don't need to fucking go faster.
Yeah.
Like just get to your fucking destination in like 5 extra minutes.
And
bro.
get exercise.
And get exercise, dude. Like everything is fast.
Yeah.
In life in general. And in New York and fucking our society. It's like everything is fast as fuck. Like I'll get pissed if I have to wait for a loading screen on YouTube for more than like 3 Mississippi seconds. Which is nuts.
Yeah.
Anyways, fucking kind of went off on a tangent, but yeah, what's next for Citibike Boyz? What's next for Peels? What's next for you?
I don't know. I'm gonna do another city bike race, and I don't really have like videos saved up or like a stockpile of content or for either Peels. I just want to I want to keep both going. That's it. That's like my goal is to just somehow keep them both moving. And that's just my goal in life too. Just keep it afloat, keep grinding. But I'm gonna do the city bike race, which is cool.
What does that entail?
That we would race over the Williamsburg Bridge to a bar and then have like a city bike day. That's like in a month. And just like a lot of people are like, oh, we want to team up, we want to collab. And I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, I'll wear your shit in a video. And then like the video doesn't go as viral as they were hoping or something. And they're like, yeah, make another one. That one didn't do that good. And I was like, this is not how it works. I tried. That's like the problem with getting paid to do content for me. And a lot of people are like, I got like, a couple videos that I think went viral, but people don't really care. Businesses, people are like, you need to get more collabs. And I'm like, yeah, nobody really wants to collab with the crazy dude on a city bike. They happen. And then like when they do, it's like, well, that one didn't do as good as your other ones. And I was like, I'm sorry. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it all comes down to the number.
Yeah. And they're like, okay, well, you got to do another one if you want to get paid. And I'm like, I almost just say, no, I don't want to do it anymore. Because it's like, it's whatever. It's like kind of my art. It's like cliche as that sounds. It's weird to try to put a price on your art. I just wear like whatever whatever I'm wearing that day.
Yeah.
But the day I did that curve thing that popped off recently, I passed by it with my homie Luke, and Luke had just got stung by all these bees in the park. And I was like, Luke, let's stop. He's like, no, dude, I just got stung by mad bees. We were riding around like Prospect Park, and he like flipped over a log or something. And I wanted to stop at that C bench that skater had done. It's like this pink bench. And Luke was like, no, I'm not stopping there. I'm trying to get back home. And I was just like, all right. And then like I rode with him home and then rode directly back over the bridge on the city bike with my homie and was like, we got to get this done. Like when I see something, I'm like, it's on that day, like the quickest I can do it. I just want to go for it.
Yeah.
And that video was like,
that shit was crazy.
It was scary because it's just like the concept did not really make sense. And I got there, and when I actually looked at it, and I brought my homie to film, and I was like, oh, this is so much bigger and so much crazier looking than I saw it like from across the street. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. But now that I've set this whole thing up, I brought the ramp. I was like, I guess I got to see how it works. And it started working pretty quick, which blew my mind every time. Every time I went around it and felt like this G-force like locking me in, I was just like, this is so crazy. And I got it, and then I was just like, holy shit, this wasn't that hard. And like the week before I set up these ramps on the stairs, that took every bit of just everything in my body to get the bike over that gap. This one was just like fun.
Yeah.
And it did really well.
Yeah.
So, you never know what people are into.
Yeah. So you're just going to keep both going.
Yep. Just keep both going. And I have an amazing life. Like I'm so grateful to just be able to be my own boss. That was my goal.
That's a crazy treasure.
Yeah.
And an insane luxury.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than, there's shit that's worse, but there's nothing worse than fucking doing some shit that you hate.
And I try to be a good boss.
Some soul killing shit.
My issue with being a good boss is like, I didn't go to business school. So it's really hard to manage and like really hard to not be a dick and like also give people freedom. Because, with employees, I never want to be that boss. I would be in the cafe, like everything's fine. And the dude would just find something that and say it in such a dick way. And
when you're a barista.
Yeah.
When you were a barista.
Like something passive or just come in and change my music. And I was just like, the vibes are so shitty. And those are things I don't want to do to my employees. So I give them so much freedom. And then like, I've hired so many homies, and that's never a good idea. So I try to give people as much freedom, and then like.
So you have employees now?
Yeah. Just like a dude sewing, a dude, my homie Yasu is like Japanese dude that's incredible at sewing and helping with everything. Everybody appeals like we wear all the hats. There's no like, we just all do all the jobs. And they are running it really good. Yasu and Harry are doing a great job. So it's like, there needs to be more though, because lately I haven't been really struggling.
There needs to be more what?
Just like the brand has to do better, because I'm like running up credit cards.
Yeah. It's
getting scary. But at the same time, I'm enjoying life, which I haven't done in a couple of years.
Yeah, the question is, how long can that last for?
It's not looking good. I'm figuring it out though, like whatever.
We're in a crazy time period, man. I feel like everybody's struggling, dude. That's what
Yeah.
I hear. It's the consensus that I hear from everybody.
Yeah.
I was talking to a small business owner the other day who had a restaurant called Organic Grill that's been around for like over 20 years, in New York City, just serving food. And he was like, served a lot of the people in the hardcore punk scene, served people from the Cro-Mags, Gorilla Biscuits, fucking Madball, like all the bands you could think of, Agnostic Front in New York City. Used to bring food to Tompkins Square Park, was a very community oriented restaurant. I used to work there before like all this shit. And I worked there for a little bit. This dude, Vlad. Um, and just running a small business in New York City 2024 is no joke.
Yeah.
And I keep saying that, but it's like it's a struggle, and it takes commitment, and it takes hard work, and it takes ingenuity, and it takes creativity. Like commitment and hard work alone are not going to do it either. Like you're going to need ingenuity, and you're going to need creativity, and you're going to need like real creativity. Like you're in a fucking city with mad people who are creative trying to all do shit. So it's going to be easy to not stand out. It's like the graffiti scene kind of, or even like
Yeah.
the state of skateboarding. Like we're at a point where everything is changing and things are oversaturated.
Yeah.
Like skateboarding, there's never been more skateboarders who are good. Like when I started skating, if I saw a kid do a 50-50 on a flat bar at my local skate park, I'm gonna think he's mad good.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen a skateboarder before, and because there's only like so many kids who can do this shit right now. And it's like now it's like you go to the skate park, or you go to Spot, or you go to Tompkins, or you go to wherever the fuck you're gonna go, and there's gonna be dudes who, well, first of all, you're gonna go on Instagram and you're gonna see that normal kids are this good.
Yeah.
Versus 15 years ago, you're gonna see that you're not gonna see the skill level of normal kids. You're only gonna see from a DVD the level of skateboarders that are professional. So you're gonna be like, damn. So it's just like a whole different thing. So standing out is insane, and again, respect to anybody who does that shit and
Yeah.
brands are able to do it, and respect to you for doing peels the way you do it, and having it be your own thing. You know what I mean? And keeping your aesthetic true to the way you've been doing it from the start.
Thank you.
And also, you've been doing it for how many years?
Just like over 8 or something.
Yeah, dude, keeping it going for that long is very difficult, and even like the motivation to keep doing it, because when you drop the ball 3 or 4 or 5 times, not saying that you have, but like even, you know, how with what we do for like even just fucking 4.5 years, drop the ball 3 times in a row, and you're like, you have that thought process in your head. It's like, is this shit ever gonna fucking work? And what does even work mean? Like,
Yeah.
what does it mean to work? What are we expecting, dude?
Yeah.
I feel mad lost. I feel like I'm in a crazy forest in my brain, and like the sun has gone down, and I just like woke up after getting hit in the face with a rock, and I'm mad confused. And now what seemed so clear, I don't know which direction to fucking go to. And I think that those are all feelings that anybody who's ever done anything similar has felt, or like an
Yeah.
artist painting and trying to decide your style and then switching it, and like you just fucking, there is no blueprint or like dude who's gonna come and tell you like this is what there's no like answers. You're gonna have to figure it out, and that shit is the beautiful part but also the stressful part.
Yeah. A couple years ago, you just reminded me this. I was like, this city bike shit is a joke. Damn, it would be really sad if I got hurt fooling around on this thing. And then it started popping off a little bit. And it's hard to like skate so much when like this is doing well.
Yeah.
It's like, so it started popping off, and then like sure enough, I tore my ACL like completely in half, destroyed my knee, and was like, well, that time came. And I like, that was, you know, people, that's like your worst fear as a skater. It's for a reason. It sucks, but my knee hurts right now. It's been like a year and a half.
Damn, dude.
It
Did you get
sucks.
surgery?
Yeah, a big surgery, like meniscus, ACL. So it did happen on a city bike, fucking around, doing something stupid. And it was, you know, it's like, damn, this happened, like being silly. Not even like, but it was like, I guess I am doing something, and now it is something in a way. But, you know, I always push things, and it was like 6 weeks or 7 weeks after surgery, I was like, it's time to go out and try to get a clip. I could barely walk, but I wanted to just see. That's like kind of how I want to live my life, is like seeing what's possible.
Yeah.
And then people always ask, like, what's the worst injury? That was probably it. But like 2 months ago or something, I was filming these clips for Converse. And, you know, I was trying to get good content for them and clipped my back wheel on a bump to bar and got the worst concussion of my life. And Angel was filming, and Angel was just like, on the footage, you could just see I was cooked. And we're riding back. We were in Harlem, and I was like, yeah, I did I drive here? He was like, no, you didn't. And I was like, all right, well, then I guess I want to ride my bike back. He's like, well, you know, it's over 100 blocks. And I was like, it's fine. I need some fresh air. I was just so out of it. I had no idea where I was. And we started riding, and he was like, okay, you want to ride this distance back? I was like, yep. We just started riding. And I was just like, the city looks so crazy. I felt like I was off like 2 Xans. I don't do drugs, but I really felt like I was super high.
Fuck. That sucks. That's scary, dude.
Yeah.
Gotta keep going. Sorry.
It's done. Like, I don't want to do any more concussions.
Concussions are seriously no fucking joke. Concussions, ACL, LCL, MCL, meniscus. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I don't want to play around with none of that shit, man. Like, I've had some bad concussions in my life too. And every time I get pissed now. If I bump my head a little bit now, I get like genuinely pissed.
Yeah.
Because I don't want no more.
Yeah.
I don't want no more, not even close to a concussion anymore.
Yeah, it's... I just want to not do so much crazy shit. I keep saying that, and then like the concussion, I got it, and then I was like, I told my dad, I told a couple of friends, I was like, I'm done doing shit. And then like 3 weeks later, I was like going out to Jersey to try to learn a backflip on a city bike, but I wore a helmet that day.
Yeah, but the helmet's gonna stop you. It's gonna, you know, gonna help some shit.
Yeah,
it's not gonna fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It's not gonna. That shit's crazy, dude. That shit's crazy. I guess it's inherent to what you're doing with the city bike thing, and it's definitely scary.
I linked up with these pro BMXers, and they were like, we'll kind of like walk you through it. We want to like see something crazy go down. We'll help you out. We know what's going on. And I was like, all right. Like, there was just through DM, and I was like, I'll meet up. And I ride out to Jersey, and I get to the dude's, like, kind of like, he had like a little warehouse training facility set up with a dirt jump out front. And I was like, oh, okay, like that's it. I guess that's the one that I'm going to try to backflip. And then we walk in his garage, and I'm putting on helmets. I put on like a full face, and I was like shaking it around. And I was like, I don't know about this. And I put on a Pro Tech, and I was like, I don't know which one to wear. He goes, it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter, dude.
Like, if you're going to get hurt, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things to worry about. But I was like thinking, I was like, yeah, like if I land upside down, the helmet's not going to save
over,
my
bro.
neck.
Yeah, it's over, dude. You just got to land that shit.
Yeah, that was it. So he just told me, like, don't ever, ever let go. And I was like, I'd hit it, and I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. And I was in the air, and the ground was going around so slow, but I just thought, like, he told me not to let go. And I just kept holding and just froze up and locked and just like stayed. And the ground just, I didn't see it. I just landed, and I was like, holy fuck.
Did you do it first try?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I just jumped it a couple of times, like, oh, I can get some air on this. But I was like a bridge jumper growing up, like gainers. A gainer is exactly how it feels on a bike.
I feel like that's some shit you got to do first try, bro.
Yeah. That was, yeah. But I was like, that was after I was like, I'm going to chill out. I do think I've chilled out.
Yeah.
You know, I'll never go do some subway shit or a big drop again.
So are you trying to focus more on peels?
Not even really. I want to do both and divide it evenly and make both work.
Yeah.
For as long as possible. They're both really fun things to do. I would like to figure out a way to do content without risking my life.
Yeah. That would be nice.
Yeah. That's like the goal I want to move. And I told you, the funny story was, like, I was on Hinge, and this girl, we got to this point, and she was like, oh, what's your Instagram? And I sent her my Instagram, and she was like, is that you that is doing this psychotic stuff on the city bike? And I was like stoked. I was like, yeah, that's me. And she was like, yeah, I'm good off that, and just blocked me. And I was like, oh, I guess this isn't super cool to everybody.
Yeah.
And I just realized, like, yeah, I guess like some people don't want to date some dude who's like a menace going around hitting crazy jumps on a city bike. That's
Yeah,
probably
she
not
might have thought
cool.
you were just like a menace to society.
Yeah.
I feel like if you look at it from a skateboarder's perspective, you're like, oh yeah, this is normal.
A lot of people think that, and then they meet me and they're like, oh, you're a lot different. Like I'm like pretty chill, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.